One of my favorite parts of the Made to Homeschool community is the ability to learn and grow with each other in real time. At the end of every workshop, we host a live Q&A where members can interact, they can ask questions, or also share tips that they have learned. Recently, when I hosted a workshop about game schooling and how we use games in our homeschool and the benefits that I've seen from that, I was so encouraged by what other people shared about what they're using and what is working for them. Here are 3 of those responses that I wanted to share with you today.
What you were talking about when it comes to the reward system of using games as a reward. We've been doing that with my oldest, who's severely dyslexic, and he, finding motivation for this child is not easy. And so he really likes, it's not a board game, but he really likes the role-playing games, like the RPG games. And so I found a book that is a little above his reading level, but within his capabilities. He just kind of struggles with it some. But we've been reading through it every day after his reading lessons. So if he does well in his reading lessons, we read out of this book. He reads a page, I read a page. And then I told him at the end, when we finish the whole book, then we're going to sit down and play an RPG game together, which is a big deal because my husband loves it and they all play it together, but I don't play. And so it's been really like a fun motivator with this of like, okay. And I love the fact that it's quality time, like that I'm promising a reward of quality time and not like, oh, I'll go buy you something or, oh, well, you know what I mean? So I just love that. Like we found a lot of benefit in that, but I also love the idea of like, hey, if you guys get all your other schoolwork done, we can do this at the end of the day or at the end of the week. Like that we can be like, hey, if you guys get to this point, you can take Monday through Friday to do it, or you can finish up and Friday will just be games. So I love that.
Abby, so for our history, I have a middle schooler. Yeah. For our history, we don't do tests at the end of history. So we do 2 things. The first one is very much like your Jeopardy game, where my daughter goes up against her father to see who can win in the History Bowl based on what we've been doing.
And has he been learning along with you, or is it like catching him off guard?
It's truly catching him off guard. We don't do it for science because he would just annihilate all of us for science. But for history, we have a standing chance. So I'm the moderator, but then my daughter will, she goes up against him for history. Then the second thing is we've been studying ancient history, and she really likes games. So for the end of the unit, for ancient history, she actually made her own game based on like Mesopotamia and Hammurabi and all of these things. So the your individual, like if you picked a card and, oh no, you broke one of Hammurabi's laws, you know, you lost all this stuff, or it flooded on, in Mesopotamia, it flooded and, oh, there was a bumper crop. So there was a lot of different things that she made up for the game for us to be able to see who could win and things like that. So that was probably a better review than I ever could have gotten otherwise.
Yeah. Can you imagine the review putting something like that together and how many times you have to go over it and over it, but you're excited to do it? It's so good.
One is Carcassonne. One of the reasons why I love this one is it is defined. Like it is such a limited time. Actually, both, come to think of it, both of these games share that in common. Yeah. They have like very limited end points and they will not drag on forever. I'm looking at you, Monopoly or Risk, And so Carcassonne is great because you can really play it with a wide range of ages. My husband and I have played it with adults, but I can also play it with the 7-year-old. So you're learning patterns, and the illustrations actually are really, really beautiful. And it's fairly easy game to learn. So yes, visual aid. Thank you.
Yeah, and little kids can play it too because it is like a puzzle. So we've done it with really young kids.
Yeah, and it's nice to have a game that you can play with younger siblings or multiple siblings can play together across a wide age range, and you're not super, super bored. Yeah. The other game that we enjoyed playing is one called Trekking Through History, and it was actually really fun. And I played it with the 7-year-old up through the 12-year-old. And I was like, do I like this game? I think I like this game.
so I'm
a history nerd. I love that too.
Is it a board game? I haven't played that one. Is it a board game?
It is. I should go get it. It is not a board game. It is a deck building game. Is that?
Oh,
I think. Well, I mean, there is a board, like you're moving around, but it's really you're collecting cards. So you're collecting certain sets of cards and things like that to achieve points. And yeah, they have a lot. I've also played their Herstory game, which is fun. But trekking through history is great.
To join in on live workshops and to see workshops done by our other content creators, you need to join the premium membership at Made to Homeschool. There you'll have access to all of the previous workshops that have been done, along with a whole library of resources to support you in your homeschooling journey. Check out this video next. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you see when we have more clips to share with you, and go down to the description box to find the link to our premium membership.